At the outset, I felt no need to acquaint myself with the 6 degrees of freedom. I'd never heard of the Great North Pacific Garbage Patch. I liked my job and loved my wife, and was inclined to agree with Emerson that travel is a fool's paradise. I just wanted to learn what had really happened, where the toys had drifted, and why. I loved the part about containers falling off a ship, the part about the oceanographers tracking the castaways with the help of far-flung beachcombers. I especially loved the part about the rubber duckies crossing the Arctic, going cheerfully where explorers had gone boldly and disastrously before. At the outset, I had no intention of doing what I eventually did. Quit my job, kiss my wife farewell, and ramble about the Northern Hemisphere aboard all manner of watercraft. I certainly never expected to join the crew of a 51-foot catamaran captained by a charismatic environmentalist, the Ahab of plastic hunters, who had the charming habit of exterminating the fruit flies clouding around his stash of organic fruit by hoovering them out of the air with a vacuum cleaner. Certainly I never expected to transit the Northwest Passage aboard a Canadian icebreaker in the company of scientists investigating the Arctic's changing climate, and of polar bears lunching on seals, or to cross the graveyard of the Pacific on a container ship at the height of the winter storm season, or to ride a high-speed ferry through the smoggy industrial backwaters of China's Pearl River Delta, where inside the Posing plastic factory I would witness yellow pellets of polyethylene resin transmogrify into icons of childhood. I'd never given the plight of the lace and albatross a moment's thought. If asked to define the 6 degrees of freedom, I would have assumed they had something to do with existential philosophy or constitutional law. Now, years later, I know. The 6 degrees of freedom, delicious phrase, are what naval architects call the 6 different motions floating vessels make. Now, not only can I name and define them, I've experienced them firsthand. One night, sleep-deprived and nearly broken, in 35-knot winds and 12-foot seas, I would overindulge all 6, rolling, pitching, yawing, heaving, swaying, and surging like a drunken libertine, and after buckling myself into an emergency harness and helping to lower the mainsail, I would sway and surge and pitch as if drunkenly into the head, where, heaving, I would liberate my dinner into a bucket. At the outset, I figured I'd interview a few oceanographers, talk to a few beachcombers, read up on ocean currents and Arctic geography, and then write an account of the incredible journey of the bath toys lost at sea, an account more detailed and whimsical than the tantalizingly brief summaries that had previously appeared in news stories. And all this I would do, I hoped, without leaving my desk, so that I could be sure to be present at the birth of my first child. But questions, I've learned since, can be like ocean currents. Wade in a little too far, and they can carry you away. Follow one line of inquiry, and it will lead you to another and another. Spot a yellow duck dropped atop the seaweed at the tide line. Ask yourself where it came from, and the next thing you know, you're way out at sea. No land in sight, dog paddling around in mysteries 4 miles deep. You're wondering when and why yellow ducks became icons of childhood. You want to know what it's like inside the toy factories of Guangdong. You're marveling at the scale of humanity's impact on this terraqueous globe, and at the oceanic magnitude of your own ignorance